just want to welcome you back to our fourth Worship Wednesday. It's good to be here again today, despite the circumstances we find ourselves in an attempt to keep things creative. I have gone ahead and invited some of our awesome worship leaders to join me on the call today through technology. About a year ago, I was working on writing a song and had just the bare bones together, and these awesome people jumped on board and helped to write the song In Us that some of you are familiar with. So I'm just going to go to the call with them and have a little chat about the songwriting process. Okay, so welcome, guys. It's great to have you. We have Roger and Danny Montez, the Montez brothers. Rebecca Job has just come home from an awesome year at Bible school, early but home nonetheless. And then Lacey Newstetter, who has just been living a new life, waiting for her second baby to come and doing school at home. So welcome.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hi. This is the first time we've kind of expanded our Worship Wednesdays into more than just a solo or duet. But I just wanted to have you guys here and celebrate the fact that as we took In Us from an idea with a metronome and piano, out-of-tune piano at my house, and turned it into a recording on my phone and sent it to the Montez brothers, which you guys took and made beautiful instrumentation for. And then the Sweetie Pie girls here joined me in the studio to record. So it was a cool, not a lonely event, but an event where we were such a cool team, and it was awesome to see God bringing out gifts that we didn't even know that we all had. So I just thought we'd take a couple of minutes to just see if you guys had any moments along the way that stuck out.
It was a really cool opportunity. Thank you, Shirley. I know that like me and Danny have a little bit of amateur production history, so it was cool to kind of do that again. And it was neat to see how everything kind of came in place. I remember when we first started working on it, I think it was just a random weekday. We were up till like 2 a.m. Both had to work the next day or something ridiculous. But we were just like super excited to do something that we're really passionate about, which is like songwriting, production, that kind of stuff. So we were pretty tired, but it was definitely worth it.
Thank you to your wives.
Yeah, they were like, "Where are you? It's 2 a.m." You know, and so yeah, that was cool. Just kind of me and my brother kind of try and work together in that way, bounce ideas off each other. And so kind of when you get going, you don't really want to stop. So
yeah, I think kind of like to echo the things that Roger said. I think like people like us who work in worship ministry, God places those, I don't know, creative passion in our hearts and the opportunities to express that creativity comes and goes, you know, because you get into the routine, you're part of the worship team, we got a set of songs that we play, and there's not that much expression that you can bring, like, because the song is the song, it's already done, you know, and you want to keep it, you know, within its parameters for a Sunday morning. And so this was an opportunity to kind of use like a talent or a passion that God puts in our hearts, you know, to express that back to Him. And so that was fun because, like I said, you don't always get to do that, and especially for people who write songs, you know that there's like seasons where you just like, wow, I wrote like 1,000 songs in a weekend, and then all of a sudden it's 10 years later, and you're like, okay, I haven't written a phrase in the last 10 years. So yeah, and so like it kind of reignited a passion for, yeah, just like a spark, you know, and just kind of, it was almost like, okay, like we did this with one song, kind of like me and Roger basically worked on it one night. Like, you know, what can God do if we gave more, and if we, you know, we allowed Him to kind of move in that way. So yeah.
That word reignited kind of sticks with me, like what you just said, Danny. Like you said, we have these seasons where we feel inspired, or we feel that the Lord might be pressing on us certain things. So Shirley, you just inspired me so much with that. I was so honored to be able to sing on it. It's so fun to be with Becca and just giggle and laugh and have fun and try things. I was singing the higher part. I was trying to I shouldn't have been hitting.
Oh, you rocked it, girl. It was
It was
awesome.
awesome. It was so fun. But I think it just re-inspired me so much to just continue writing, to continue worshiping and seeing what comes out of it. Yeah. And this opportunity there. So it was awesome.
And it was fun. Becca and I she was, what was it called? Interning with me at the time. So I dragged her along to another thing. And so, Becca, it was so fun to have you involved as well.
Yeah, I think even to kind of echo what you were saying, Danny, it's so cool to kind of get to be on both sides, to see kind of how a song gets made and be involved in that process. When you're so used to just always being on the other side and playing other people's songs. So I think for me, it was just a really cool experience because I had never been a part of recording a song before. So it was really a really fun new experience to kind of get to support you, Cher, and to get to be part of that process.
Yeah, cool. And just like a baby step, right? I don't know if you guys even knew, but we just finally, with COVID, had some extra time on our hands. And so we managed to put it on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere now. That's kind of what inspired this little get-together. So thank you again for your contribution, and I just love working with you guys. I am such a team player, so it's so fun to have lots of people involved in what God's doing, and we're just believing, even in this season, you boys and probably Lacey don't have a ton of extra time, but Rebecca, we're counting on you to write some good new songs in the next few weeks.
Well, that's kind of the funny thing because I didn't have time then either, and but I guess with technology and also just a willingness, sometimes you gotta sacrifice, right? So if it's midnight or whatever, and and like technology allows you to just kind of do stuff. Like I think a lot of the instrumentation I even kind of recorded them on my cell phone on GarageBand or something as simple as that with like this little small keyboard that's like not even real, and that kind of stuff it's cool to see the availability or the ability to do that I should say. So really like the only thing that sometimes can stop us is ourselves, and if we're kind of in that mental writer's block or whatever, creativity block, which does happen and it's totally legitimate and it's seasons for that. Actually, I think you grow as a musician, as a songwriter in those seasons as well. But it's cool to have technology to be able to go back and forth, working remotely, especially right now, to be able to send tracks back and forth and stuff. So that was pretty cool to work on it in that way because right now especially we have to social distance with each other, so it can't really because it is different when you're in the same room and you're working with people. Like at least for me it is. I know some people work really well alone, but for me I tend to bounce. I get kind of energized when it comes to creating when other people bring an idea, so it's pretty hard for me sometimes to do it alone. But this was an interesting test to be able to, just because of life circumstances, to be able to do it on my own or whatever, and then send it to Danny and send it to you and then back and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool, and I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did, because it sounded great. So
cool, awesome. Well, thanks everybody. Looking forward to hugging you all again until we meet again. So the cool thing about writing the song was that the verses actually came very simply because it's just taken from Matthew 5, the Beatitudes. And so I'm just going to take some time now and sing it for you, and I hope it'll be a blessing to you. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the mourning, for they'll be comforted. Blessed are the ones who live at peace on the earth, and blessed are those who hunger and thirst, for they will be filled with the righteousness that your will be done in us. Whoa, whoa, in us. Whoa, whoa. Blessed are the rich in mercy, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see your face. Blessed are the ones who live at peace on the earth, and blessed are those who hunger and thirst, for they will be filled with the righteousness of your mighty hands. On earth as it is in heaven, let your kingdom come. On earth as it is in heaven, let your will be done in us. Whoa, whoa, in us. Whoa, give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us as we forgive. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us. Oh, deliver us. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us as we forgive. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us. Oh, deliver us. Oh, on earth as it is in heaven, let your kingdom